And before we talk, I want to read you a few statistics. Listen to this. Star Trek The Next Generation debuted September of 1987 in 217 markets. It ranks third behind Wheel of Fortune and Jeopardy. And of course, Wheel is the most successful program that's ever been on television in access. That is amazing. And Jeopardy, now listen to this. It's almost at the 350 million mark as far as the films. The cassettes have sold, what? I don't know, in the millions, haven't they?
Millions and millions.
Now, you're part of the new generation. What is it that attracts people to Star Trek?
I've no idea. I think that we get asked this a lot, and I think it's because we have such an optimistic view of the future. Basically,
Right.
we feel that we're still going to be around in the 24th century, so I think that's good. People are nice. In our show, people are much more, what's the word? They get on much better, and we have a very good quality of life, and it is an optimistic view.
Well, I guess in a sense you're right, if not actually right, because it does show people getting along, and they come from all different sorts of backgrounds and cultures and races.
We still encounter some of the same problems that we have now. We do programs about drug addiction. We do programs about racism. I mean, incorporating aliens, instead of whatever. And so we encounter the problems and we deal with them in a 24th century way.
I wonder, we did Psychic Phenomena Week, ESP, and, people that claim they were abducted by UFOs and aliens and experimentation and so forth. And there was a recurrent theme that some of the people who were, I guess, a little skeptical, if little is the word to use, and that was that people seemingly have greater ability to attach themselves to something almost transcendental. I mean, it adds some kind of a meaning to their life that they're not getting on Earth.
Yeah.
I guess the good ship Star Enterprise would provide that, wouldn't it?
It does. We have some very ardent fans, obviously. Everyone knows about the Trekkers, and they do attach themselves very strongly, and they associate with the show, and they associate with us also very strongly. And I have to make a point of when I'm doing appearances at Star Trek, conventions and stuff like that, that they know that this is me.
Oh, you mean they do get them confused?
Oh yeah, they say to me, do the voice. Will you speak like Deanna? And I say, no. And some of them get upset because they want to see Deanna. And I say, no, if you want to see Deanna, you have to turn on your TV sets. This is Marina. So I can understand that, especially because my character is empathic. She's an empath. So she has that whole ESP thing about
That's the alien side of it.
That's the alien part. Yes,
Yeah.
that's the alien part.
Have we decided which channel? Yes, we talked. It was the lower half because it's got that strange, that strange electronic device, the microphone. Do you have to prepare in any different way as an actress? I mean, I know your background is such that it's a matter of just locking into a technique. But in terms of playing half alien, half human?
No, I didn't do it any different way, really, because I think I tapped into her human side more. I can't associate with an alien. I've never met an alien.
I am.
You have?
Last couple of weeks ago I did.
I've never met one, so I concentrated on her human side and the way that perhaps somebody who hadn't been brought up with human beings would regard them. With, that inside, outside.
This, of course, Future Week.
Yes.
And I'm hoping to ask all of my guests, their hopes for the future, things that they would like to see changed, things they wish could happen in the future, if not in their lifetime, beyond that, perhaps in their children's lifetime.
Well, I actually agree with Gene Roddenberry in feeling optimistic about the future. I actually really don't feel, I don't know if I'm going to put my foot in it now, that anyone would be stupid enough to press that red button anywhere and blow us out of extinction. I know one of the topics that you're going to be doing this week is another thing to do with animal rights. I hope that we're much more humane towards animals in the future, and I hope that as a race, as the human race, we just become more aware of other people's misfortunes and not quite so selfish.
All right, Marina. Thank you. Of course, Marina's with us the whole hour. And before we go to the break, all this week we're going to be visited by crew members of the Starship Enterprise. And let me tell you, those guys have it pretty good. Now they even have a recreation room complete with an alien humanoid hostess. Someone who has spent time certainly right here on Earth.
Very old. Carl, unless you knew Captain Picard when he was on the Stargazer?
No, I never knew the captain. on board.
Well, everyone's very curious about you.
That's how I bet they are.
Yeah, they want to know where you're from.
Please welcome hostess Guinan, Whoopi Goldberg. We were just talking about, it's cold in here today. I don't know what happened, but the air conditioning is up. It'll warm up now that you're here, and we've got some lights on and so forth. You enjoying yourself?
Yeah, I'm having a great time.
I read you were or are a Star Trek fan.
For a long time. Star Trek was the only way that I knew there were going to be black people in the future.
That's a good point. I hadn't thought of that.
Yes. And so you get to watch all the various adventures of William Shatner and Leonard Nimoy, and it was something I always wanted to do, and I thought, well, okay. When it went off the air, I thought, well, you know, there's always Hazel. But then it came back on, and I was talking with LeVar Burton one time, and I said, so what are you doing? He said, I'm doing Star Trek. I said, tell him I want to do it. And I never heard from him. And
now, if I were a producer and somebody called and said, by the way, Whoopi wants to do this show, sure.
yeah, well, that's what they said.
Yeah.
And then I was looking at Playboy trying to get information for my show. And
Information for your show?
Yeah,
What
well-
comes out of Playboy for your show?
all kinds of stories, you know. This year has been the year of everyone taking a major fall, and what better way to find material than
That in Playboy, that's of course, it's going to be there, yeah.
And someone who had been in Playboy had also been a regular on the show and left, and that's how I found out that she had left. So I called them and said, you know, I really want to do the show, and they said, oh, come on. I said, didn't LeVar tell you? And they said, yeah, but we didn't think he was telling the truth. I said, why would he lie? I mean, you know, and they said, well, let's talk about it, and we did, and they kept saying, right, I think they thought that my interest in it was going to go away, and when they realized that it wasn't.
I can't get over this. Is like Gregory Peck going over and saying, I want to do Leave It to Beaver. You know what I mean? So anyway.
It's great. I mean, it's a fun show. It's a show that has a lot of class and integrity. It's a show that kids can watch. And it's a show that gives a lot of hope that we will still have a planet in the future. And I've always been interested in going into space, but I don't have much time to, you know. I can't get to Houston as often as I like.
Yeah. The other thing that I read about your interest in the show was also just on a purely practical basis, and that was you want to work.
Yes, it's very tough to get jobs.
Why is it tough for Whoopi Goldberg to get a job?
Because nobody can figure out what
What
Whoopi
to do with
Goldberg
it.
can do. I mean,
Yeah.
they know that what I'm capable of, but it's not like, you know, most agents, they get scripts for their clients. So you have scripts for a Meryl Streep or a Sigourney Weaver or a Jodie Foster, you know, and you have 18 different Jodie Fosters to choose from, or 18 Sigourney Weavers. And in that 18 category, they never would think of me for some reason. I think it's because they just figured out that I might be a little darker than Jodie. You know, I mean, that has a lot to do with it. So
Well, they
roles
certainly knew
that come down, they don't normally think of me to do them.
Well, they certainly know what to do with you with Clara's.
Well,
the picture.
It's kind of
Clara's,
obvious. Clara's Heart.
Clara's Heart, yeah.
It's about a black
wonderful
woman.
picture, yeah.
Well,
Obviously. No, but let's go back. All right, let's go back to Color Purple. After that picture, the scripts must have come in for a Whoopi Goldberg.
No. What happened was script came in for Shelley Long, and I said, I like that script, and they gave it to me. And then the script came in for Bruce Willis, and I said, I like that script, and they gave it to me.
Isn't there a danger in that?
No, I don't think so. I think that the danger is when people...
Trying to twist and make it work
But
for
see,
you?
it's no difference. Shelley and I probably wake up the same way.
No, I understand that.
You know.
I understand that, but you come off of a success like Color Purple, and you know you're a real commodity in the business.
Oh, yeah.
And the agents certainly are aware of that, and they tell us all the time that, you know, it's not particularly the project, it's the deal that counts.
Yes.
And your head gets a little bit turned, and I think in many ways, many people come off of this initial explosion of success, don't you think? And can be talked into things, talked into accepting things that
I could
maybe...
never be. You know,
Yeah.
it's funny. People they say to me, why did you make the movies you made? Because I liked them. Now you'll start to see more and more women who are playing cop roles, who are kicking down doors. That didn't happen before things like Burglar or things
No,
like,
you're right about that.
you know, so I've opened some doors, and I'm not necessarily saying that the films that I shot are the films you get to see. Is that man going like that?
No. No, Linda was reminding me something.
Oh.
It was something I was going to get to, Linda Bell, my producer. And that was one more thing about Color Purple. You were nominated, and it is a tremendous honor. And sometimes it's better than winning,
I think so.
in many ways. But I wonder, everybody has to have something prepared in the back of their mind, or do they go up there and wing it? What about you?
Most people probably do wing it, but I have had a speech prepared since I was 8.
Is it very long?
No, it's pretty neat. The beginning is like this. I just want to.
Don't give it away. You may be up there again
No,
this year.
not
Prepare
this year,
hard.
not this year, but
Yeah.
one time I'll go.
All right, so that's the beginning. What
Yeah.
happens next?
Then I just look out real lovingly like this, and I say, I just want to say that I'm so moved. It goes on from there, and every time, you know, every year, my mother was kind enough to let me watch it because she knew I was a film fanatic.
Yeah.
And so she and my poor brother would be sitting in the room, and, you know, they'd have best actors come up, and I'd get up, and they'd go, oh, and they'd leave. So that I could just do this acceptance speech to the television audience, which is what I did every year. And I stopped actually doing it about 7 years ago. I would do it in, my daughter, when she was small, had no idea what any of it meant. So
Yeah.
I could give the speech to her before she got bored.
Anyway, our woman of the hour, she'll be with us the entire hour. Whoopi Goldberg, more to come. Stay with us.